How did Tony Robbins, international speaker, philanthropist, and New York Times best-selling author, go from janitor to motivational giant with a net worth of over $500 million? In today's episode, we'll find out how Tony Robbins got rich.
My name is Dan Henry, and when I was 16 years old, I decided that I wanted to be rich. So I studied as many wealthy entrepreneurs as I could and used what I learned to create my own successful business. The purpose of this channel is to share my research with the world and show you how they got rich.
When Tony Robbins talks, people listen. Even if he mysteriously drives you to a bridge over a raging river, stops suddenly, tells you to get out, and jump. Mark Benioff, the founder of Salesforce, trusted him so much that even the poisonous snakes waiting for him in the river could not prevent him from following the commanding voice of his coach. When Tony Robbins puts his mind to something, he makes it happen. This is just one of the reasons why Robbins has spoken his way into his net worth of $500 million. Anthony J. Mahavich was born in North Hollywood, California on February 29, 1960. Tony was the oldest of 3 children born into an abusive home riddled with addictions and poverty. But this little boy was not without dreams to rise above his circumstances and one day help others to do the same. Although there was never a consistent, trustworthy father figure in his life, Tony would officially become Tony Robbins when he was adopted by his former stepfather, Jim Robbins, as a 12-year-old. His love of public speaking and thirst for knowledge began at a young age, as he read books by Emerson and Carnegie. Add to that the constant arguments over money struggles, and you have a brilliant, angry, but very motivated teen. Robbins' natural skills of observation served him well as he drew conclusions from his environment and began to question social norms. Tony Robbins was a broke, overweight 17-year-old surviving day to day in a small 800-square-foot bachelor apartment where he had to wash his dishes in the bathtub. To make ends meet, he worked as a janitor during the week and for a moving company on the weekends, all while serving as class president. It was that weekend moving job that would lead him to discover Jim Rohn. He spent nearly a week's pay to attend a seminar and listen to Rohn's leadership philosophy. One seminar with Jim Rohn was all it took to change the trajectory of Tony's life. Tony's natural confidence and determination propelled him forward. He marched up to Rohn and asked him for a job, but before long, he became the protege of John Rohn and dropped out of high school to learn at his feet. Tony studied Rohn and the audience, developing his own ideas along the way. Next, Tony met John Grinder of Neurolinguistic Programming and developed a partnership. For seminars, Grinder would use hypnosis techniques and firewalking to build confidence in the attendees. Tony would pay close attention to everything he learned while working aside Grinder, and he would later use firewalking as a powerful catalyst for change. Tony's experiences had laid the perfect foundation for building his business. Robbins believed that people were more willing to do almost anything to get out of pain than they were to gain pleasure. By recognizing he'd had enough of poverty and abuse, Tony accepted he was not living the life he wanted, and also that he'd have to do whatever it took to change his life and end the pain. When Tony hit his early 20s, he was conducting his own seminars. He found his passion, and his mission was to help others by showing them that anyone can motivate themselves to do whatever it takes, to choose to shift their mindset or behavior, and to break through to the next level. In 1984, a young Olympic gold medalist was introduced to 24-year-old Tony Robbins. Word began to spread of the positive influence the motivational speaker wielded, and big names like Oprah landed on his client list. The next thing Robbins would do to expand his empire was put pen to paper and write a national bestseller. Unlimited Power was released in 1987. Within 2 years, he would team with Guthy Renker and create his first infomercial, Personal Power. Together, they would tout Tony's ability to be a peak performance coach. Personal Power made his audio tapes available across the globe and featured the nationally known faces of Fran Trackington and Martin Sheen. Between the infomercial and book sales, Tony Robbins was quickly becoming a household name, synonymous with motivational self-help. By the time Robbins was 26, he had made his first million, and he was just getting started. He would continue traveling and speaking for the next several years, growing in fame and recognition. In 1991, Tony introduced his self-devised method of neuroassociative conditioning to the world in his book Awaken the Giant Within. This book would incorporate his life lessons about pain and pleasure and assert that they are the two driving forces behind human behavior. That same year, Tony began his first philanthropic endeavor when he launched the Anthony Robbins Foundation. Its goal was to help the homeless, prisoners, youth, elderly, and the hungry by empowering them through food drives and curriculum centered around Tony's teachings. The foundation would go on to feed over 3 million people in 56 countries every year. 2 more books would follow in the years to come, Giant Steps and Notes from a Friend. The books led up to his next undertaking, Leadership Academy Seminar. The seminar is still going strong as a 4-day commitment to awaken your leader within while learning how to bring out the best in those around you. The infomercials, books, and seminars were cementing Robbins' place as one of the most sought-after, highly awarded self-help speakers in the world. He was named by Accenture as one of the top 50 business intellectuals in the world, by Forbes as a top 100 celebrity, by Justice Byron White as one of the world's outstanding humanitarians, by the International Chamber of Commerce as one of the top 10 outstanding young people in the world, by American Express as one of the top 6 business leaders in the world to coach its entrepreneurial clients, by Harvard Business Press as one of the top 200 business gurus. Robbins has worked internationally to help teach his principles. His leadership in times of crisis and his systems for indirect negotiations have both aided in arbitration that has disrupted the patterns of violence and minimized the rhetoric that encourages it. The list of all the organizations and entities who have benefited from the leadership of Tony's experience is expansive. He's appeared in a series on Oprah, 5 successful infomercials, multiple cameo television appearances, his own reality show, and TED Talks. His face was everywhere. His voice was everywhere. Meanwhile, Robbins had become a shrewd business investor. This knowledge led him to write Unshakable, a book containing the interviews he conducted with 50 of the greatest investors from around the world, including Warren Buffett, Carl Icahn, and Ray Dalio. It was meant to be a quick read so its readers could prepare for a drop in the market. He donated profits from both Unshakable and Money, Master the Game to Feeding America. In addition to combating hunger, he also works to provide fresh water to villages in India and fights against child trafficking and slavery. Tony Robbins is a man with a cause, a purpose, and a plan. He plunges headfirst into life and ice baths. He lights a fire under people and within them. He leads others by calling out the leader waiting inside each of them. Over the years, Robbins was the professional guru for some of the most famous people in the United States. He has worked with the likes of Wayne Gretzky, Serena Williams, Hugh Jackman, Mark Benioff, and Bill Clinton. The little boy who stepped between his abusive mother and his siblings grew up to stand in the gap between who men are and their untapped potential. He never lost his hunger to help others step into their destiny and overcome their situations. Tony Robbins turned his calling for helping others into an empire while building a massive net worth of $500 million.
Hey, Dan Henry here, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of How They Got Rich. I created this channel because these men and women inspired me to quit my job years ago as a pizza boy and pursue entrepreneurship, which eventually led me to become a multi-millionaire. If you'd like to know more about that, you can follow me on my main YouTube channel, youtube.com/Dan Henry. But before you go, I'd like to remind you why the people on this channel are successful, as well as myself. It's because they've mastered 3 main areas of their life: business, productivity, and mindset. And that's why I've made it my life's work to help others in those 3 key areas. So here are 3 ways I can help you right now. If you own a business and you're looking to grow it, you can head over to getclients.com and learn how we built a $20 million business, as well as learn how these strategies can apply to your business. You'll find a collection of free trainings, podcasts, and blog posts on that website to help you grow your business. As well, you can grab a free copy of my book, Digital Millionaire Secrets, which is a Wall Street Journal and USA Today bestseller. You can find that on getclients.com. Number 2, you can head over to plantomorrow.com and check out the Plan Tomorrow Daily Planner. This is a planner I personally designed to make myself more productive and get things done. Because the truth is, if you want to do big things, you have to get things done. And I know this planner will help change your life like it's changed mine. For a limited time, it also comes with a free productivity class taught by me, so head over there right now and grab yourself a copy. And finally, number 3, if you're struggling with mindset, confidence, motivation, imposter syndrome, or you're just looking to develop a rock-solid mindset so you can achieve more in life, then I want you to head over to howtothink.com, where we have daily mindset mentoring on how to achieve anything in life by changing the way you think. So grab a copy of your Plan Tomorrow Daily Planner now. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next episode.